Shalom, real quick, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Al Shai Bashem, Rakakwada, Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you left out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Do You Know What Will Most Likely Hit China Before It Hits Babylon the Great? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, and I slowed it down. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So just let it play. So I'm right here. This is an 8-minute video. You can watch the whole video. Urge you to watch the whole video. She pretty much compares Babylon the Great with China. It says living in China versus living in America. Americans will be shocked. So we're right here at 1 minute and 36 seconds in of an 8-minute video. So like I said, I got it slowed down. And this is fair use.
You can use your MasterCard, your Visa card, you can use Alipay, you can use WeChat, you can use Apple Pay, you can even use your Palm. We're living in the future here.
She said, I'll bring it back. And let me put on a closed caption. Subtitles. Okay, bring it back a little more.
It's been available for a really long time. You can use your MasterCard, your Visa card, you can use Alipay, you can use WeChat, you can use Apple.
There's places out there, depending on where you go, like certain places in Manhattan. I refuse to even go anywhere in Manhattan, Times Square, that area. One of the up-and-coming elders, teachers, had showed me there was a Nigerian restaurant. He happens to be Nigerian. He's in the camp. He's Judah. And he said, oh, there's a nice Nigerian restaurant in Times Square. And I said, well, I won't know about it because I don't go to Times Square, period. And then he said, well, in case you ever do. I said, I don't ever plan on going to Times Square, period. But when you go downtown Manhattan, which is the real New York City, not so much the outer boroughs, the mayor is the mayor of Manhattan. He's not the mayor. He's actually the mayor of the 5 boroughs, but his focus is on Manhattan. So he's really the mayor of Manhattan. The revenue that comes in from the outer boroughs go into Manhattan. That's why when you go down there, you got to pay, was it $9 a day to go down there? Congesting, what do you call it? Pricing. So there's certain places when you go there, go to like Midtown, what they call Midtown. They don't accept cash. They'll tell you in a minute. There's certain delis that when you buy, let's say, a sandwich and a drink or something like that, they'll tell you, oh, we don't accept cash. So you got to use a debit card, credit card, the Palm. Some of them have Palm readers. Whole Foods that now have Palm readers. The last Whole Foods I've been to, I hadn't been to Whole Foods maybe in a year, a little bit more than a year. But the last time I went there, they had a palm reader. The month before that, they didn't have a palm reader. So everything is, and I actually did a video, and I took my smartphone out, and I did a short, and I put it up on YouTube. Pretty sure if you, I don't know if I put it up on this page. I put it on one of the pages, and it's a short. So anyway, let's go ahead. So she's saying all the ways you can pay, which includes the palm, which, by the way, when she holds up she actually holds up her left hand. She says, oh, your palm, it doesn't mean that there's a chip in there that the her smartphone took a digital picture of her palm print, but ultimately it's going to be a chip.
Okay, you can even use your palm. We're living in the future here.
She said we're living in the future here. So like I said, and based upon the title, that it's going to be most likely introduced in China, if not the very first country, one of the first countries. And it's going to be a smashing success, and it's going to come over here to the Americas. These Moabites are going to accept it because they're not into the scriptures. If they read the scriptures as a Christian, they don't understand the prophecies. A lot of Christians, most Christians will take it because they really don't understand prophecies, and that's just a given. They never, anytime they debate an Israelite, they never go deep into the scriptures. They never go into the prophecies. All you got to do is go into the prophecies. If the Holy Spirit is dealing with them, and they say, well, we don't know the prophecy, so okay, you don't know the prophecy, you haven't gone through it, isn't the Holy Spirit dealing with you? There's a quote in the scriptures, I'm not going to go to it, but it says, have you received the Holy Spirit today? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pick that up. Have you received the Holy Spirit today? Bible. Acts 19. I knew it was Acts. Acts 19 and 2. So what I will do is go to, matter of fact, I'm in the Bible Hub. Let me go ahead and open this up. And I believe this is Paul speaking. I'll go to the King James. So when a Christian says, oh, I really don't know the prophecies of the scriptures, well, once you know once you receive the Holy Spirit, it says that the Holy Spirit in St. John 14, St. John 16, it speaks about how the Holy Spirit is going to teach you all things. So all you got to do is change the subject on them. Go to any of the prophecies in the Old Testament, Jeremiah, the various books or chapters of Jeremiah, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Revelation. It says, Acts 19 and 2, he said unto them, have ye received the Holy Spirit since ye believed? And they said unto him, we have not so much as heard whether there be an Holy Spirit. Because Yahushua spoke to the apostles about it. So the whole Israelites that didn't know about this thing called the Holy Spirit. Now what I want to do is, I want to go to the first verse. So when you ask them about the MOTB, you go to Revelation, they should know it. The majority of them people don't know it. I would say 95% of them more don't know it. So they're going to take it. So this is the first verse of Acts 19. Acts 19. And it came to pass that while Apollos was at Corinth, Paul, having passed through the upper coast, came to Ephesus, and finding certain disciples. And it was Paul that asked that they receive the Holy Spirit. So a Christian, if they're truly a Christian, they should know the whole Bible. Well, my pastor never taught. Well, do you have the Holy Spirit? Yes, I do. Okay, then you would know the scriptures. You would, instead of the Holy Spirit, or the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, will teach you all things. Bring all things to your remembrance. So let's come on back.
It's very convenient to ride the subway too. If you don't know where you're going, you can easily find maps everywhere that are in Chinese and in English. I visited Russia several years ago and nothing was in English. It was a nightmare to get around. If your phone is about to die, don't worry because you can find power banks literally everywhere. All you have to do is scan it and then it'll pop out. Also, you can find drinks everywhere.
Now, this is how the when the MOTB system, the B system, and the chip is fully out there. Now, if you want to buy something to drink, you want to buy something to eat, you see a vending machine, this is what you're going to have to do.
You can use your phone to pay or your face.
So there's a guy with the mask on. The picture comes up with the face. If you ever work for these gig companies like Uber and stuff, everything is done with your smartphone, and they would ask you, they would say pull over and take a picture of yourself so they can know that you're in the car. And they may do that maybe once a month. So she mentioned you can use your face. So she's actually showing you this motorbike in China that's about to, when this comes up, that means he's going to have to do the face recognition thing. So, don't be surprised if it's big breaking news in China that people are going to start, they'll probably surpass the people in Switzerland. He heard the click and he opened the door.
Thank you.
If he's gonna grab one drink, if he grabs two, it will deduct two. So it would take, let's say the drink is $2. He gets two of them, it's $4. $4 will be deducted out of his account through his the fact that he put his face in that reader.
Yes. All right.
I think somebody's good.
Only I can spend Kev's money. Behind me, you can see the security check, security guards, and tons of cameras. I really feel safe here.
And by the way, you can't commit a crime because they have these cameras have facial recognition technology. You heard the story or the news going back a week and a half. 10 Jakes escaped from this prison in New Orleans, I believe it was. And they caught a couple of them by face recognition. They showed you it in the news. They said, we knew this is the guy because of face recognition. We caught him. And I believe there's 2 left. They caught 8, and they arrested a couple of people that attempted to help them, abet. But there's 2 left, and eventually they'll get caught. These are not sophisticated criminals. Eventually they'll get caught. And the thing is, they're going to be put in the maximum prison, And if they're doing 5 years, they may double it. They may give them 10 more years. So now it's, you're not thinking when you do something. Some of you may have had 2 years. Now you got to be in there for another 5 years, or however much more that they go. That's what it's going to be. They're going to add to your sentence.
Almost feels like an airport. Also, through the check, they are very, very thorough. They check your bag. They make sure you're not bringing anything you shouldn't be bringing in here.
So you can't do that wild and shit that you do, for example, in New York. These Marauders, these Jakes, these YNs. And I was watching a YouTube video, and I took a picture of it so I can watch it later. But it's a handful of YNs that just took over McDonald's, and the management is afraid to kick them out, and they're selling illicit, contraband in there while you eat. They're smoking in there. They all up in there, and then people go. They'll order their burger, their chicken McNuggets. Then they'll pick up some weed or something, and they just took the McDonald's over. And in the title of the video, it says YNs, which we know that's a new term. YNs meaning young ninjas. You know what I really want to say. Now, you had the guy, his name is Flip. He went in there and he was telling one of the young guys, I'll give you $10,000 if you finish the year out in school. And he said that ain't enough. He said, I can make that doing what I'm doing now. I can make that in no time. And there was a part in that video where they pulled out, stacks of money. They said that one guy said, and I'll give you the video later. I may put it in the description box of this video. He said, what somebody makes in a week, I make in a couple of minutes. So I stays with money. They're just out there doing what the hell they want to do. These YNs. Let's listen to a little bit more.
And even liquid, they make you open it and take a sip. And when you're riding the train, you can find security guards on there making sure everything is okay. In New York, I feel like the security check is not that thorough because just...
Oh yeah, they check your bag and they let you on. And if you want to get on a train, you want to be a marauder on the train, you can say, okay, that particular stop, they're going to check you. Let me walk down to the next stop, and they're not going to check me, and you get on the train. So, and like I said in the beginning of this video, with what's this guy, Eric Adams, and he's in the small hats. He did something where he said, we're going to do something about you anti-Simps. He's just an inside guy. He does the bidding of the small hats, the JJs. And like I said, he's actually the mayor of Manhattan. Let's listen on.
Check the news. Bad things are happening on the trains all the time. There are cops when you first get on the train, but even if you...
Yeah, because if they arrest you, they give you a disappearance ticket, and then you go and commit more crimes. Back in the day, you did that shit, you were locked up. You did it the second time, they locked your ass up. They check your record. Oh, this guy got a record a mile long. He ain't gonna make bail. Or to be a ridiculously high bail. They ain't doing that. Because the order, they need chaos to bring order. A new world order. These Christians, they don't know what's coming down the pipe.
break the law right there in front of them. They don't do anything. I guess they just don't want trouble. And when you're on the train, well, you're on your own. If you don't want to use convenient forms of payment, you can always go to one of these machines and pay, and you get a cute little card.
And they're going to do away with that. There's not going to be any paper money. Paper money is going to be obsolete. CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency.
I'm going to use Apple Pay. This is my China Merchants Bank card in China, but you can also use your Visa or MasterCard. Kev is going to use Alipay. That's the first time I've used Apple Pay. That was so easy. If you need to store your stuff, there are tons of places where you can do that. Here is a locker. All you need to do is...
So the MOTB system, hey, you got another vending machine. You can use Apple Pay, MasterCard, Visa. You can use a palm scanner. You can use a face scanner. Right here, you got the menu right there. So you want to use your face. A picture of your face is connected to your account. They deduct whatever money. You pick up a soda for $2, they'll deduct $2 from your account based upon the palm print or your face. So I believe China will be the model, the actual model for the CBDC system. You remember, you heard it first at the GMS. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.